Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another Alliance War video. This is war number 4 of season 22. As you can see, I'm boosting up here pretty big. Now, this war is really weird. If you see, there's 14 hours left on this war, which means it's 10 hours in and I haven't done a single fight yet, which is odd. It is quite odd for me to not have done anything at this point, but I actually slept in. And I got one. Actually, I was assigned one more fight this war, and so I woke up to do a queue, and then I fell back asleep, and they assigned the fight to someone else. So I lost a fight, so I'm a little salty about that. But I ended up getting another fight at the end, so it kind of makes up for it. So it's a six fight war. That's what it was originally supposed to be, anyways. But by the time that fight got reassigned, I was like, well, I mean, I don't need to do war right now because I'm not holding anyone up, so I just waited until my energy capped and until people moved in section 2. So I'm now able to do all of my fights pretty much in a row with these boosts. So first up, you saw we had an Ebony Maw. Super easy fight. It's Torch against Maw is easy peasy. This next fight here, Iron Man Infinity War. I'm really good at fighting Iron Man Infinity War with the reparry method, so I'm not worried. The only thing to worry about here is one of the nodes called Heavy Hitter, which basically when Iron Man Infinity War goes to use a heavy attack, he goes passively unstoppable, this is fairly good placement. You know, sometimes when you're trying to reparry, the opponent just opts to throw a heavy attack, and there's literally nothing you can do about that. That's just the way the AI reacts sometimes. And it happens. And Iron Man Infinity War's heavy attack, it gives him a lot of space on the screen, and you're just not able to punish it. So the placement's not bad. But you see, we get him here to 15%. So at that point, you know, he's going to auto block us. So at this point, it's only heavy attacks. That's all we're going to be using. And again, we can't heavy counter his heavy attack. So right here, you know, normally I'd discharge my heavy, but I'm not able to do that. So you're just going to go for the reparry. If you didn't know how to reparry, this fight probably would be pretty tricky. That's just another reason why the reparry always coming in handy. You never know when you might need it. And yeah, that fight goes swimmingly. So first 2 fights down, Torch is still looking fairly healthy, so not worried. So yeah, I let other people fight their section 2 paths, so I was fully clear to go. Made sure I had enough energy. I did the math. I'm like, all right, perfect. I can bang all my. I don't think, as long as I've been in for a look, I don't think I've ever done all my fights at once on one set of boosts. You know, normally I have to boost twice. So we're on path 9 here. This is Window of Opportunity Stun and One-Eyed Open. It's a Nightcrawler, which is really annoying. This is pretty good placement, but you're going to see here, I come in here with a phenomenal strategy. We're going to a Source Supreme, and so there's 2 key things going into this fight. I start in my Power Gain phase, which places a slow and a special attack, and I used a Power Start 1. So I'm immediately starting the fight with the slow active. Now this dude can't evade. That takes away 90% of the difficulty when fighting a Nightcrawler if he can't evade. So yeah, we just locked the fight down right off the bat, and there's nothing this guy can do now. We still don't want to parry him because even right now technically we could parry him while that's on cooldown, but with the One-Eyed Open, if I attack him while he's stunned, the damage is going to be reflected on me, so there's no point in screwing around with that. So I'm just going to not parry. Originally, I thought this was my only fight with Sorcerer Supreme as well, so I wasn't really, you know, too concerned about my health. I'm just letting him hit on my block. I don't really care. You know, it's also using the rank 3 champion, so that the health pool, especially boosted, is pretty high, so I'm really not worried about the block damage. So next up here we have another Doctor Doom. We faced Doctor Doom in the last war. That one was a rank 3. This one's only a rank 2, so it's not as scary. But again, we can't parry here because the Window of Opportunity stun, unless, you know, that's on cooldown, then we can parry. I do keep an eye on that. I do opt to parry sometimes on these fights if I'm able to. I don't really have a problem managing that, and I've never accidentally parried. I've never done that before when fighting these. You know, the fight starts out great. You're just baiting heavy attacks, and right there, I accidentally parry. I've never done that, and I accidentally did it. But you can see Doom is just, he played himself. You played yourself, Doom. You reflected that stun. The power stings did, they did like 30%? I think it was 30% of his health, which is equivalent to like 40k damage. Those power stings did. Like, bro, he melted himself. And that's the last fight I was using Human Torch for yet again, so it doesn't really matter. So next up here we have this Thing again. This is phenomenal placement for Thing. If he's not going to be the boss, which I don't think Thing boss is the strongest bosses. If you're facing me, I haven't died one yet, so knock on wood. But yeah, this is a really good placement for Thing, because this fight can go very wrong very fast. So I'm trying to keep those Mr. Fantastic pre-fights up, and right here I make a critical error. He throws a special at 13. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have worried about those debuffs, and I should have just gone to 15, because now I'm in an extremely bad situation. I need to hit his block about 17 times to get out of this situation. But I'm very familiar fighting Thing in general, and even more so with Void. I know when to read the fight, when he's going to block, and to make him hold his block, and when it's safe most of the time, like 98% of the time. So we were able to get into about 16 blocked hits right there, 16 or 17 I believe it was, because the problem was we had 2 petrifies up, so that nullified this node's powerful from afar power gain buff. So without that, his power gain was just stagnant. He wasn't getting any. So I had to just push on his block. Right here, I'm in a bit of a tricky situation, but I hit his block and bait out that special, bait out those rock stacks. That was great. And yeah, here I'm going to hit his block a couple more times. He's going to throw a heavy attack for me. Fine, sure, I'll take that. Push him right up to 15. And this dude's dead. He triggers protection because we're hitting pretty hard, but that's okay. Bait out one more special attack. And we're coming out of this fight with 100% health. Pretty good. Pretty good. It was a little sketchy when he was at 15 rock stacks and like not even half a bar of power. But 17 blocked hits later, we're good. So yeah, that's one way to fight Thing. Just hit his block a whole bunch with Void and let your damage over time debuffs do their thing. So I thought I was done this war, but then I had gotten assigned this Emma Frost mini boss. I was like, oh, cool, another fight, sure. I'm still like boosted pretty heavily, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back in. I put on Mystic Boost for that Nightcrawler. I was a little bit worried about it, but as you saw, it went fine. So I still have those Mystic Boosts active for this fight, which is gonna be nice. Just help me get some power back quicker. So against Emma Frost here, the main thing I wanna do is get an armor break active so that we can just freely parry her, because as you see right here, she is stun immune so long as she's in diamond form. The only way to get her out of diamond form naturally is if she has more power than you, which I don't want to have to be worrying about that. This node does have power focus 1, so above a bar of power, she's her power gain is decreased by like 80% or something like that. It's very, very decreased. But below 1 bar, it's highly increased. But it doesn't really matter to me. I've mastered Emma Frost's L1 evade long ago when she was first introduced. I remember everyone. That was one of the harder uncollected months, just because of this Emma Frost here. But just practiced it a whole bunch when she first came out. So yeah, now I no problem fighting Emma Frost, and I can evade that special one like 99 out of 100 times. I'd say there is that 1 out of 100 times where I could mess it up, but I'm not really too worried. Even if I get hit by one special one, it's not going to kill me, I don't think. But yeah, here we're going to go for the old special 3. Special 3 hits pretty hard based on how many stored runes you have, and I have a couple right now. I think this does like 40k damage. Yeah, 41,000, and you can see it gives me a full bar of power back with the Mystic Power Boost. So that was pretty nice, and I went ahead and banked the armor break, so now every time I throw a special attack, we're going to apply an armor break to her. So we really won't have to worry about diamond anymore. We throw another special there. Fortunately, it doesn't crit, but she goes down. And yeah, that was it for my war. So only 6 fights is the first war that I didn't have a boss fight, actually, which unfortunately there's a Sasquatch, but as you can see, there's a MODOK right there, which we were a little bit worried about. So Pete took the Sasquatch boss with that MODOK still up, so he could get the debuffs for Ghost to phase them, the Incinerate and Poison debuffs. And then once the boss goes down, the Stubborn Global node goes down as well. So that MODOK was able to be quaked once there was no more Stubborn, because he's stun immune. And I think you can quake with stubborn and stun immune because you take blocked hits to get rid of the stubborn. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it made the fight easier. And we took it down. And it was actually pretty cool. I think this is the least amount of deaths that I've just ever been a part of in an alliance war. We only had 3 deaths as an entire alliance. That's insane, man. That is actually insane. And 2 of those deaths were actually from my battle group, which is odd because last war we had 0. So it's just BG1 and BG2, man. Wow, they did amazing. I mean, we still did good. 2 deaths isn't bad by any means. So yeah, 3 deaths as an alliance. That's damn impressive, man. I was like, sheesh, like I've never been a part of an alliance that's died 3 times for all my time for Loki. I think the lowest I've seen with us is like 7, maybe 5, maybe, I don't know, but definitely not below 5. So that's really cool. So yeah, now my stats here for this season, we are now 29-0. We did win this war, which is great. We're still at 100% solo rate, which is awesome, and we're still first overall in power rating, but it's getting pretty close. I'm going to need another boss fight and some more fights next war. I'll probably go down to 2nd or 3rd on power rating. But yeah, 29-0 so far. I mean, just not dying makes me so happy, man. So if we can continue this deathless streak, it'd be pretty cool. I think I'm on 9 seasonal wars right now in a row without dying, if we factor in like last season. So yeah, it's getting up there. But yeah, it's gonna do it for this Alliance War video, guys. Hope you did enjoy. If so, drop a like, subscribe, like some more content. Thank you so much for watching, though. Hope you enjoy. Peace out.